Hello, girls. Let's see what you made us. Well, isn't that special? We're going to get all of that. Hey, hope you like that. But in our last video, we talked about some pretty cool stuff. It was kind of controversial, but in this particular video, we're going to talk about how mags or preppers, WROL, SHTF, and how they might deal with prisoners, and if it's worth unaliving them. But before we do that, do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell. Let the algorithm know that we're here. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right, guys, let's get into it.
This one goes to Mr. Spags. After defeating a small force of a bigger army. Okay, first off, let's preface this. This is from deck number 4, which is from the Survivalist series, which is based on the novel by Angry American about a guy during an EMP attack and all this. So these are situational. So Sergeant Linus is one of the main characters. All right. So after defeating a small force of a bigger army, Sergeant Linus wanted to use the captured men to strike fear in the enemy's hearts. How should Sarge go about doing that with the captured men? Remember, oh crap, I can ask you this question.
Is this a family show?
Okay, just try to. If we get demonetized, we get demonetized. Just don't get too graphic.
No. I think that this is a very dangerous question, but I think it's a needed question. And I think this is where you're going to separate the people who are true homesteaders and preppers from the prepper porn guys. Look, man, I don't think that there's a right answer there. I think that the real answer is what your conscience will allow you to do when you're cold and hungry. And I think that people who are of lesser character are going to find themselves making some pretty graphic choices. But that's why we prep. We prep so we don't have to find ourselves, hanging people from the gates, because that's what this question is alluding to. Hanging people from bridges, crucifying them along a highway, and there's a lot of people out there. Again, I'm going to pick on the 300-pound preppers who never take their shit out of their bags, they're the ones who say, oh yeah, you should string them up, man, skin them, blood eagle like the Vikings and all this stuff. They're the guys who get a sprained ankle and have to take 2 weeks off from work. So I really don't believe what they think they're going to do. But I do think that there very well could be some scenarios where you'll have to do probably a lot more violent things than you would have to do in 2023. There very well might. I mean, it's going to depend on what the conflict was in the first place. Why are you fighting this superior force to you in the first place, which is generally speaking a horrible things to do. When you're in the prepping, post EMP world, that can be very, logistically bad. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of parts to this question we don't have answers to, but I mean, if it's because they came after your women and children, obviously you're going to get a little brutal. And there is times where you have to let the beast out. There are times you have to, as Tag said in his video, embrace your dark side. He was 100% correct. Your moral compass and where you line up and what you really have as foundational core beliefs is probably going to determine how close you get to that needle, how soon.
Okay, anybody else got anything to add or subtract from that? I thought it was a pretty good answer, which is unusual for Spags.
Tag's waiting for me to say something.
Sometimes an army guy can string some words together. Who knew?
All right, so I'm going to be a dumb jarhead and say, could you repeat the question, please?
That's what I didn't want to say.
What part of that?
After defeating a small force of a bigger army, Sergeant Linus wanted to use the captured men to strike fear into the enemy's hearts. How should Sarge go about doing that with the captured men? Basically, how do you use them for propaganda purposes to strike fear?
Well, MOS number 3. Let's see. I would be very nice to this young person, and I would feed him, and I would tell him all sorts of glorious stories. And then I would I can't say that. And then honestly, I would likely just try to either recruit him and then kick him away, or maybe torture him a little bit. But the end result would be something that when he left, he wouldn't want to come back. And
Right.
any intelligence that he might take back to another group. You know, I mean, sticking somebody's head on a stake doesn't mean anything unless they find the stake. You know, giving them the the blood eagle doesn't mean anything unless they find the guy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what are you going to do? Wheelbarrow them back and expose yourself? No, put them out on a road and, you know, like, what'd you say, Spags? Hang him from one of the bridges.
Yeah, hanging from the bridges,
know,
hanging from the gates.
You know, that only
silly
works.
stuff.
That only works in a population where people actually would be in that particular area. If you really want to scare the hell out of your enemy, you send them back, and you tell them how good things are. And, oh, by the way, you know, he let me go, and what'd you gather? Well, nothing. They didn't let me see anything. So they might come back. I mean, any one of these cards is always going to lead you to the point where, unless you, I almost said it.
You can say it.
Unless you give them a facial lead enema, then you know, it's there's the possibility of them coming back. But you know, an experienced interrogator is going to get a lot more out of somebody if you're nice to them, and if you send them away with as little intelligence as possible. You know, you've got to get them back into their gates to make the other guy fear what's going on. There's a lot of things you can do. You could give him false information to take back with him. There's a lot of things, but the end result is never to splay him out in public view. You want the message to go back, whatever it's going to be.
So Eric, we've got the shoot him in the face answer, and the blood eagle heads on a pike, and we've got the treat him with kindness and let the enemy know how screwed up their side is. Where do you fall on that spectrum?
I first have to ask myself, what is in it for me if I put fear back into those people? How is that going to benefit me and the people that I have an allegiance to? That's the first question that I need to answer. And if it's going to leverage something to the advantage that's going to be of true benefit, and if I felt that it was going to be harmful for me not to do that, I'm going to have a lot easier chance doing something unethical. Let's just put it that way. But if it's purely just for intelligence or sending a message, you know, I'm going to be a lot less inclined to do something that's unethical. But I first would have to ask the question, what, by me putting fear into those people, how is that going to leverage me? Because that's really what I'm interested in, is me and the protection of my inner circle. So I guess that's just my question. I don't really have enough really to go on to say, well, I would put his head on a pike or shoot him in the face, because I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing and how it's going to benefit me.
Tag, you any final thoughts on that question?
Yeah, I think I don't think I want to get in the business of putting heads on pikes. You know, I don't think that's not really me. You know, I think the psychological operations headed back the other way is probably the most valuable thing to local preppers' point. He didn't say it directly, but you know, the misinformation or the disinformation or whatever you want to call it, it's probably the best route. But at the same time, I think sending them away is equally as dangerous.
Well, I think this card, I think the purpose of this card is to find out whose answer is going from 0 to murder in 3 seconds. I think that's the purpose of this card. So again, this goes, conflicted is a great way to vet people. So if you're building a community and you're bringing people in like we do at the campouts and the festivals, these are the type of questions that weed out. I'm not going to say weed out. They expose people that their first answer is to, let's go to murder, versus and I'm going to say it, Eric, your answer was very thoughtful and I appreciate it. Seriously. It was a good answer as far as I'm concerned. Okay. Next question.
So I hope you enjoyed that and you got something out of it. Very, very, very interesting subject. And not everybody would do that, because shoot them in the face doesn't work every single time. I'm here to tell you. And it's not always beneficial. What we would like to do is see your comments. do me a favor. Put them in there. Let us know. We'll read them. We'll reply. And if you like what we're doing, do me a favor. Hit that button right there, that like button right there, and the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so that when we do make more of these videos, and we will, that YouTube tells you. All right, guys. Till the next time, stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you in the next video. Bye-bye. And if you like that, do me a favor, put a 1 in the comments, and we will get started.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream.
Okay, as you can know, if you have noticed, the technological advancements are overwhelming. Maybe too little, maybe not enough. Not exactly sure. All I know is that things are finally working. To the 8 of you that are here on, I think, YouTube, thank you very much. Let's see here. There were some earlier stuff on the YouTube. I need to open the YouTube's chats because we need to give credit where credit is due. Let's see here. Bradley was first, and Janice number 2. We got Beecher. We got Grumpy Acres. Ironic that Grumpy's here today because he was in that last video I was just showing you. Jordan, Hicktown Honey, and Doug. If you guys have not, let's see here. Where is that stupid button at? If you guys have not hit that like and subscribe button, do me a favor. Guys, do that now. It does help. Now, we are currently transmitting on YouTube, Twitter or X, and Rumble. So I'll be looking at the chats on, I don't know if the Twitter chats come through because I don't think anybody's ever come through, but I've got the YouTube and I've got the Rumble, and I can see your chats. So, trying to think here. I don't think I've got any admin stuff for you this morning. Got my coffee cup fired up. Hopefully you guys got a look at the new video that I put down last night. God, I fixed this damn camera and it's still not centered right. So I'm going to be like way over here for the whole damn video. Anyway, hopefully you guys had a chance to get a look at the video that I posted yesterday. Let me close that. I need to be able to see stuff. It should be doing stuff. What was it? On the additions that I made to my get home bag. I did have some comments, had a couple of questions come in via email about my medical kit that I keep inside my get home bag. So I will be doing a video on that shortly. It's going to be something around like bug out versus trauma. Oh, here we go. First yawn of the morning. Hopefully you guys are all having a great morning. I've had 0 check-ins on the Rumble side, so I can't say hi to you guys, you freaking slackers. And you're not even doing the thumbs. You know what? I think what it is on the Rumble side is that people are still having problems with the whole verified account thing or whatever it may be. So, I don't know what it is, but there. Alrighty then. Good morning to my friend. Alrighty, first over on the Rumble side. Good to go. I love that affirmation that I'm actually communicating with people and not speaking to algorithms. It sounds like my voice is going to try and quit on me today. Once again, I probably should have got like a cough drop or something started there. Okay, so I think let's go ahead and kick this off. Well, wait. We've got to do the stupid news first. Where are we at here? What do we got here? The stupid news. Okay, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a resolution that says that anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism. This would mean that most Hasidic Jews are anti-Semitic. Some of these things just don't make sense. I think it's great that what they're trying to do is stop all of this craziness, stop these people from being stupid. There's so many of them. but it's just not working. Let's see. Romania declared a nationwide epidemic of measles. Isn't that special? Liz Cheney may run for president as an independent to stop Donald Trump. I don't think that's going to work, Liz, and I don't think that's going to work because everybody hates your freaking guts. And I think that you will never get enough money to get anybody to even vote for you. So have fun with that 3%. It's a ploy, guys. It's a trick to try and get independent voters to vote for her. And obviously, they would not be voting for Trump if they voted for her. That's all it is. It's a way to try and pull votes away. This is either she's a rhino wacko or she is just a shill for herself. I think she had to leave Congress because her head wouldn't fit through the doors anymore. Let's see here. The EU is warning of huge risk of terrorist attacks over Christmas due to war in Israel. Terrorist attacks are terrorist attacks. They come and they go, and Israel will have nothing to do with it. Let's see here. Bernie Sanders has spoken out against providing aid to Israel, saying that would make the U.S. compliant in allowing the right-wing extremist Netanyahu government to continue its current military approach. Yeah, Bernie, sit down. Russia reportedly rejected a prisoner trade for Americans Ivan Gersovich and Paul Whelan, and they're not going to. They're going to keep those guys in their pocket as long as they can. Let's see here. Boris Johnson denied deleting 5,000 WhatsApp messages and texts that are missing during a COVID inquiry. Oh no, more missing documents. Gotta love it, man. White House, the House Ways and Means Committee released 56 new pages of evidence showing that Vice President Joe Biden used multiple email aliases and private email addresses to communicate with his sons, business associates, and main financial architect. Oh no, say it isn't so. Cool. Good to see you, bro. Make sure you guys check your subscriptions. Make sure that you ensure that you have not been unsubscribed. And you know what I have not done yet? I'm kind of remiss in my duties. He said duty. I'm gonna go slide on over here to the YouTube studio, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that. I need to put a link out that I did not put out like a dum-dum. I just started like just whatever. And people kind of are used to it. And the way I'm doing it now, you guys are not getting those like preview notices or those warning orders sent out to you, letting you know when the video is going to pop or drop. And so I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I also found out that the views, the people who are watching right now, the 10 people that are watching on YouTube right now, you don't count. You don't count in my viewership. I don't know why, but it is what it is. Let's see. Nope. I received the alert. I'm just late. Gotcha. Just got the notification. Hey, Tefel, good to see you, bro. Yeah, I literally just popped it out on the going live on the Discord. So it is what it is. I could like just leave that thumbnail so you guys knew what it was every time, but I just like to change the backgrounds so that it kind of matches the things that we're talking about. Let's see. What do we got here? West Virginia Pappy just showed up, and Hicktown Honey is also supporting on the Rumble side. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. I appreciate it. And it's funny too, because I am so confused. I really wish I could like I got alert at 9:20. I got you. Well, that's when I went live. So I guess that's great. But I don't know what's happening on the Rumble side, because like I said, I have a Rumble channel, which has like 20 people in it. And then I actually have like what I've been using forever that just went over 700. So I'm so confused. I don't know what's happening with the Rumbles, but hey, I guess people are paying attention. So I'm happy. We actually have one less person on the Rumble side than we do on the YouTube side, which is interesting. Let's see. What's that say? Local Prepper 14. Yeah, there we go. So Rumble, you're losing by 1, but you got to hit those. You got to do that. You got to do those like buttons there on the Rumble side. YouTube, you should be doing the same thing. I'm not going to. Can I check that over here? I think I'm not sure if I can check that over here. Where are we at here? Dashboard, lives. Yeah, it's too much of a pain in the ass. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to our first piece of news, guys. And it's interesting because this is the level of stupidity that these people think. They think you're an idiot. I actually saw there's an article out there that our Secretary of Defense has decided that that's not the right one. There we go. Our Secretary of Defense made a statement saying that if we don't send more money to Ukraine, oh shit, I said it, that we're going to end up sending our own troops to solve this problem. Now, you guys have to understand that we are locked in at the hip with these people. There is no going back. We cannot. This is not like El Presidente just pulling all the troops out like he did over in Afghanistan. It doesn't work that way in this particular situation, because if these guys fail, or should I say, if we fail to support them and they fail, then we are the laughing stock of the world. Now, NATO is already, as we discussed yesterday, NATO has already decided that they want nothing to do with this. They're literally just doing the minimum to get by. And they flat out told leader in Ukraine there that we're not going to, we're just going to hang out, guys. We're just going to watch from a distance. No, you can't join. So this little article popped up right here, and I wanted to talk to you about it very briefly so that there's no confusion. So Israel could face strategic defeat. It's so interesting how you give somebody a title, you give them a position, you get them out of a uniform and into a suit, and they can now set catchphrases, because this strategic defeat thing, guys, these are words that they're trying to throw out there to see if they stick. And I'm going to tell you why it won't stick, but I think you need to know a few of the details. Man, my throat is really there we go. Without a doubt, military superiority belongs to Israel, and yet Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin has raised eyebrows by saying Israel faces a strategic defeat if it doesn't reduce civilian casualties in Gaza. The Hamas-run health ministry in Gaza says over 15,200, mostly women and children, bullshit, have died since the start of the war. You know, I really need to stop saying those words if I want to get monetized. The White House has questioned the official death count from the Palestinian side. Of course they have, because it's not accurate. However, and even by conservative estimates, civilian deaths are in the multiples of thousands. That is a correct statement. In the recent New York Times article entitled "Gaza Civilians Under Israel Barrage Are Being Killed at Historic Pace," which proved controversial, the Times said more civilians have died in Gaza since October 7th than have died in Ukraine after nearly 2 years of grinding war with Russia. Okay, so let's get down to the quote real quick, and then we're going to come back to this. Let's get down to the quote real quick here. The center of gravity, and this is our Secretary of Defense. The center of gravity is the civilian population. And if you drive them into the arms of the enemy, you replace total victory with a strategic defeat, Austin said in a speech at the Reagan National Defense Forum in Simi Valley, California on Saturday. The secretary added that he has personally pushed Israel leaders to avoid civilian casualties, prevent violence to settlers in the West Bank. We will continue to press Israel to protect civilians and to ensure the robust flow of humanitarian aid, he added. Now, here's why it's all bunk. It's all total bull. First and foremost, our Secretary of Defense is speaking in terms that are used in something called coin operations. It was actually invented for more urban warfare, or basically country building, nation building, and how the military would operate in those environments. Coin operations are focused on winning the hearts and minds and that basically giving the enemy nowhere to go. So, little history lesson. It didn't work in Vietnam. It didn't work in Iraq. It didn't work in Afghanistan. And Mr. Austin is now trying to apply these terms to something to say it will work in Gaza. So we're going to give you a big old thumbs down there, Mr. Secretary of Defense, because you clearly are just reading textbooks and applying no common sense. And you know what they say, when you do the same thing over and over and you get the same effect. What is that? Okay. So I think what we're going to do now, let's go ahead and check the chat real quick. We got it. Major Ken says, almost last. Why are you always so late, man? Major Ken should be on time all the time. Let's see here. It's easier to leave comments here than it is on Rumble. I got you, Alan. No problem. Yeah, I don't understand. You have to log in, and Rumble makes live streams more difficult than they need to be. I'm not exactly sure why, but it is what it is. Miss Melody showed up. Thank you very much. Good Boys Guild jumping over here from YouTube. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Either way, I'm going to read the comments as I see them. Catitude showed up. There we go. Sounds like send money or we'll send your sons and daughters. Yeah, that's a bold statement, Jordan. And the thing is they've said that over and over. If you remember that the president of Ukraine actually said that in no uncertain terms. You'll either send the stuff we need now, or you'll be sending your sons and daughters later. And this is all dead bug stuff. These are all roaches kicking around with their feet in the air. Now, we do have to do it, and we will do it. But once again, from yesterday's live stream, there's actually a border. You can actually go and find it on the interwebs, and it'll show you where all the defensive positions are between Russia and Ukraine, which is why this has turned into a missile slash aviation / drone war. It's really that easy, guys. There's nothing to comprehend here whatsoever, because they're literally regurgitating their talking points every single day. Let's go ahead and switch this screen up right here, and I'll look at some other stuff here in a second. Where are we at here? Jordan says, practice. Grumpy says, if Hamas would stop hiding behind women, children, and civilian infrastructure, this would be way less of a problem. Okay, so it bothers me, guys. I always assume that I'm the dumbest guy in the room. It's something I've been doing for years. It always ensures that I don't say something stupid and that I learn something from the conversation. So let me tell you what the dumb guy found out. The dumb guy took 10 seconds and Googled how many civilian casualties has there been in the Ukraine war since it started, and it's getting close to 10,000. So I don't think there's a huge disparity in the numbers between reported civilian casualties in Gaza versus Ukraine. I think somebody who wears a big suit and somebody who gets a big paycheck and somebody who holds an official office should really know what they're talking about before they open their mouths. Is it ignorance, arrogance, or are they just lying? There's the real question of the day. Grumpy also says, anyone that thinks male jihad fighters are courageous men is delirious at best, complacent at most. Absolutely. You know, if you put down a few of these guys, you know that they're cowards. They talk a good game. They hide behind stuff, and it's, you know, and they will hide behind women and children. It's that easy. They're actually pretty easy to kill, but they're dangerous because they're sneaky little turds. RC, shut up. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Let's see. Coin only works if you keep soldiers on ground. If you keep presence, it all goes back to Lawrence of Arabia, the grandfather of coin. Absolutely, Major Ken. This man knows what he's talking about. All right. It takes 2 generations to work, 20 years, supposedly, or 40 years. Let's see. Senate is going to vote on assault weapons ban today, I hear. It is possible. I talked about this yesterday at the very end of the live stream. Of course, you're always late, so I think you were there to hear it. That's that whole gas they're going after gas operated weapons. It's not going to fly. We're too close to an election year. If the Senate did pass it and send it over to the House is just going to not allow it. It's that easy. God forbid it made through both of them. We could be looking at that whole R word that people are scared to say, that old revolution word. We could be looking at that. If they decide that they want to try and take these from us, then it's going to be a bad day for these people. It really will be. And we're too close to an election. These people only have balls when we step back and allow them to. What's the word that I'm looking for? What's the word that I'm looking for that means that they don't have any balls? Oh, that's right. They're freaking cowards. They're games. They talk the game. That's what they do. So I am concerned, but I'm not going to sit here and worry about it. I never showed up. Sorry, I'm late. You're not that bad. You're well. All right, Major, you're feeling better. You made it in here before Deborah did. Let's see, Major. I hear there are 2 rhinos that will vote for it. I think that those guys will probably, if they were that dumb that they would vote for it. I mean, the Senate can pass it. They do have a majority with the vice president. They could do it, no problem. But as far as the House goes, this is a serious problem for the House, because even the centrist Democrats that want to be reelected know that it's a hugely bad idea. Deborah says, I'm at the hospital with mom. Possible TIA. I don't know what a TIA is, but it sounds serious. Everybody, they buy chess to buy chess in you guys are typing words. I don't know. They bitches. I got you, Hicktown. But hey, seriously, Deborah's mom's in the hospital, so everybody do a quick prayer for her if you do that sort of thing. I will not do it myself, but I will wish her the best. Okay, let's see here. West Virginia Pappy says that Rumble's about 10 seconds ahead of YouTube. That's good. Good to know. Okay, so let's go ahead and find something else to talk about. I've got a couple things lined up, which is actually, we've kind of like knocked out all the stupid news. I wanted to share something with you guys. There are things that have come out. Share this tab instead. And I don't know which tab it went to, so it should be that one right there. This one came out a couple of days ago, guys, and I've been kind of reading into it. And this is the kind of article, actually from November. But it got shared with me a couple days ago, we'll say. And this is the kind of article that takes time to like suss out, to get the information out of it, to do the research and find out where these things were coming from. And, the title is Preppers list grid security, EMP attack, and civil war as top threats to the U.S. Very interesting article. And it was very interesting because they actually have this nice little scale in here that actually shows you. I'm going to make it. Let me see what this looks like if I make this bigger. I'm going to try. And that's what she said, right? I'm going to try and throw that up there and see. There we go. So this is the actual chart. Okay. So the greatest threats that we face today, according to preppers. So this was an unbelievable survey. After a few days, I was able to actually track down this particular survey, and that also it had also been updated. So talking about the very first things on it is actually pretty important. So the preppers worry the most. The number one thing they worry about is loss of grid from solar flares, physical attacks, cyber nuclear or EMP attack. Oh my God, I can never do live TV. Such a yawn fest. So, it's almost ironic that we think about these things exactly the same way. It was so difficult to track down where these numbers actually came from, but I think it's important that we just look at them, So the number one thing, or the number two thing, was economic collapse that leads to violence, loss of law and order. Guys, I've been telling you forever, my number one prep is the economy, economic collapse, because it is for everything. It is absolutely for everything. The next one was bioengineered viruses, pandemics, lab accident, or bioattack. Yeah. So, and these are things that have become very relevant in our lives and are not new ideas. Where are we at here? Domestic civil war due to divided country following next year's POTUS election. Ooh, see, that one kind of reaches. That one, that one for me is kind of a reach, and it's kind of a reach because I think that could be the boiling point. That could be the point where this divide within the United States boils over. But here's the thing. If something were to go down, all right, that was J6-ish, if something were to go down, people would at this point would not believe that it was an honest, organic, natural event. They wouldn't believe it because of what the Department of Justice did, because of what the FBI did, because of the embeds that were in the J6 situation. And people would believe that the feds did this and that this was not natural or organic. Now, one of the things that they were able to do to help all of this to happen was that they incited this stuff. They were in the crowd. They were running their suck. They had been infiltrated in parts of groups. I actually know of a group that was actually infiltrated and had to shut down all of its comms and go to alternate comms because they were infiltrated. So, and it was for the best because that group was literally just like us. Like we're just biding our time. We're just paying attention. We're just, staying in the know so we can, we know what the hell is going on again, And this was a very honest, simple group, but they got infiltrated. And it's like, so why? Why are you infiltrating this group? I mean, all you've got to do is like be in the group digitally and just watch the chats. That's all you've got to do. And then wait for the one guy that just like, rah, 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 and then you got to like make him your friend. And then next thing you know, he's telling you everything he wants to know. But that's not what was happening. They had infiltrated these groups that were doing absolutely nothing in an effort to build a case prior to something happening. Anyway, so I don't think that the election could be a boiling point or boiling over point, but I don't think that people will buy it. Let's see here. Looks like we got some talk in the chat here. So AR mags went up in price. Where are we at here? About $15 each on PSA now. Okay, so they went up. All right, that's cool. But I mean, guys, I'm going to say something. How many magazines do you really need? And if you say all of them, then you are wrong. Okay, let's see here. And Deborah says PSYOPs. Yes, PSYOPs, definitely. There's a PSYOP going 24/7, guys. You're all part of it, whether you like it or not. The trick is to know that it's happening, and two, to just carry on with your damn life. All right, what do we got here? Terrorist attacks in the U.S. facilitated by largely open border. Yes, that's a big fear that a lot of us have. Let's see here. War that harms the U.S. escalating. A war that harms the U.S. escalating from the Middle East fighting. Guys, the Middle East has been on fire for over 50 freaking years, and it never caused anything over here. If you know anything about Mr. Mr. Oh, Jesus. And I think I took the stupid pill instead of my smart pill this morning. Osama bin Laden, during the issue, all he wanted to do was make America feel like where he lived. That was his goal. It was his openly stated verbal goal, caught in an interview. That's all he wanted to do. He wanted us to feel as scared every day as they felt over there. So the Middle East had been on fire forever. There's always going to be nutbags. There's always going to be zealots. We just have to keep an eye on all of those guys. Let's see here. I ordered Korean steel magazines on Global Ordnance for $7 each. Wow, that's pretty freaking awesome. That's pretty freaking awesome. Hicktown Honey says probably 4 to 6. That's all I can carry physically. Yes. The average Marine goes into battle with 7 magazines fully loaded and some more ammunition in different pouches or packs. So yeah, there's a reason why there's only so many pouches on a plate carrier. All right, what do we got here? Major Ken says you need 20 mags per rifle platform and 5 to 10 per pistol platform. Okay, and I agree. And here's why. At least you have a limit. You've got a number. Okay? You've figured out what it is. You've done the science. So let's trust the science. And that's what I'm getting at. That's my point. That's exactly what I wanted to hear, Major Ken. Some of these people just keep buying this stuff over and over and over and over. Hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on things that they will never, ever, ever use. It's just not physically possible. Use logic, use common sense, be adults. It's your money. Spend it wisely. What you carry is different than what, what Auto Spell has been working hard today. But I think we can read between the lines, Major Ken. All right, so I'm not going to go into the rest of these lower categories. Once you get past cyber attack and artificial intelligence, a natural pandemic, nuclear, once you start getting into those low numbers, those aren't the real things that preppers are really thinking about. So let's see here. What I want, society collapse. All right, there it is. Now we're talking about it. Preppers are changing, guys. Preppers are changing. The title of this was More Preppers Than Ever. And I want to show you guys. And let's see here. I'm going to click on this over here, and then I'm going to click on Share This tab. Let's check my screen, and we're going to make sure that that's actually on the outbound. So believe it or not, guys, believe it or not. And I will share this link, the link to the next thing that I'm going to show you here. Could 2024 election cause society to collapse? Some preppers think so, and they're ready. You know damn where we are, Mr. Trevor Hughes. Nice guy. All right, so, and this dumbass right here trying to get, this is all speak about getting rid of TikTok, whatever. Anyway, all right, so, and this is kind of written in story format, so I'm not really a fan of it. Here's what I will do. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this in the chats of both the Rumble for you guys to read later. And then let me go over here onto the YouTube side, or this should be the all. We're going to go with boom, and we're going to pop that in there. And that is the link to this particular article. But like I said, I'm not a fan of really story time articles. I'm more of a factual kind of guy. This article actually talks more about this guy and his prepping organization. I believe he's down in Florida, and he is basically, it's like you can buy into his compound, but it's a serious compound. We're talking about sniper towers, machine gun positions, lots of places that are blast proof, things like that. It's basically a compound of a compound. I'm not really a fan of its physical location because I've actually seen it on the old Google Maps. But it's still good. And some of the key information. So in the past 12 months, 39% of millennials, can I highlight that? Can I do that? 39% of millennials, and 40% of Gen Zers reported having spent money on prepping, according to Finder.com, and which has collected similar data since at least 2017. Overall, Almost 30% of Americans surveyed reported taking some steps toward emergency preparedness last year, up from 25% in 2017. On the left, you have people afraid. Where are we at here? Let's highlight that. On the left, you have people afraid Trump's going to declare himself a dictator of the United States, and people on the left are going to end up as targets in some sort of authoritarian system. On the right, it's general malaise and a fear of society unraveling. They point to these smash and grab robberies, riots, and protests. Absolutely, and 100%. So it's kind of ridiculous to Democratic preppers. They're not, I wouldn't even say that. Yeah, they're Democratic preppers. Democratic preppers are prepping because they think that Trump might become the president. They're scared to death, and they think that they're going to be some kind of target. Listen, to anybody who's a Democrat, whoever watches this video, we don't care about you. We just want you to stop screwing with us. Stop trying to take away all of our rights. Stop trying to make us the nanny state. Stop trying to make us touchy-feely. This is not the American way. This is the way that you think it should be. If you're afraid that El Presidente is going to, that Donald Trump is going to become the president again, and there's going to be some kind of tyrannical government that targets you because you're on the left, maybe it's because you've been doing screwed up shit forever. Maybe it's because you keep messing with everybody. I mean, you know what they say, don't poke the bear unless. The predominance of American citizens are conservative in nature. They have Republican or centrist values. You have somehow conflated this all to be about you, and nobody cares about you because this is all you do and cause trouble. So for my lefty Democrat, whatever prepper friends, maybe it's time to shut the hell up and just be good people. Leave us alone. Okay, so I'm going to check the chat real quick. We're going to check the chat. Let's check the chat real quick. Rebecca Myers tuning in late. Good morning. Yeah, I'm getting ready to sign off. No, we've still got at least another 20 something minutes left. Let's see here. The other 1/4 of Epstein's clients list is in Hollywood. Of course it is, Window Liquor. Thanks for showing up, Broseph. Let's see here. Tefel is laughing at what I was just saying. And I know it's funny too, because there's like a delay and I'm not seeing all of the chat just yet, but it will get there. It will definitely get there. If you agree with what I just said about my addressing my Democrat prepping friends, put a 1 in the comments right now. Put a 1 in the comments right now. I'll let my voice rest for like 10 seconds and then we can move on, because I actually went and found the actual study that shows where people are all spending their money and the things that they're actually worried about, both by male and female. And you're going to love this. Thank you, Rumble people. You were not slackers. And Rumble is definitely faster. Definitely faster. Rumble, a race with Rumble against YouTube on the comments and delay. Rumble's always seems to be faster. There's Tina. Good to see you. Window Liquor's like, what? 1. I always want to be. I don't. Grumpy's like, I don't normally do this. 1x every dollar sent to the place with cranes. Major, you're not thinking outside the box. You're living outside the box, bro. I gave you a simple task. Major can't put number 7. I don't think these are going to. Hold on a second. I don't think these will actually show up. There we go. Maybe I should leave that up there so we can actually see what you guys are talking about. Let's see here. Good Boys Guild says Screw Troop is asshole. Yes, no one cares about the Democrats as long as they leave us alone. Exactly, man. Nobody cared about these people because they were either like we understood who they are, you know. We understood where they were coming from, and we actually agreed. It's like, can anybody remember? Okay, that's right. We're going to check the chat real quick. We're going to do this again, guys. I know I'm just breaking your thumbs. Put a number 2 in the chat if you can remember when the biggest selling point for Democrats in an election was we must have smaller classroom sizes. They wanted to get the classroom sizes down somewhere between 15 and 25 students per teacher. Can you remember that one? Can you remember the one? Put a 2 in the chat if you can remember when they said when they were their educational position was we needed to have more computers in the classroom. We needed to have computers for every student. I'm asking you these questions because those are actual talking points. Those are actually far left talking points 20 years ago that I absolutely completely agree with. Absolutely 100% completely agree with. So let's see. Hicktown Honey says, I prefer Rumble now. Well, good. Let's see here. Believe it or not, Rumble, there's 26 people in Rumble and 25 in YouTube. So, hey, yeah, this is good. This is good. What do we got here? I'm seeing, it's funny too, because there's where are we at here? And now they are bigger than ever. Gotcha. Let's see here. Oh, cuz I don't remember, but sounds good. Public fool system indoctrination program is not education. Yeah, that's very true. That's true, Window Liquor. It absolutely is. I'm not a fan of public schools. I also think that public schools have a lot to do with the environment that you are in. The public schools that my kids all graduated from in North Carolina weren't the greatest schools, but because they came from a military town, most of the people that lived in that area were centrists, leaning right. They worked for the government. There was links everywhere to things just being loaded with common sense. Yes, there were some lefty nutbag teachers that I had to address. Princess kicking butt. Good to see you there. Good to see you. It's about damn time you showed up. We've been going on since like 9:30 with a preview at 9:20. Damn. So no one cares about the Democrats as long as they leave us alone. Okay, got you. Thank God NCS school choice now. I love it. Still trying to comprehend Democrat prepper. Well, here's the thing, Beecher. They have the same fears that we do, but it's all about how far to the left their little brain housing groups have slipped. That's what it's all about. When it's gone too far, that's the person that really is like, what are you thinking? You've moved past. Here's the funny thing. I just realized this. Democrat preppers don't trust the government. They want it in place, but they don't trust the government, because if they trusted the government as much as they say they do, they wouldn't need to prepare. There would be no logic in it. They wouldn't be able to follow the science on that one, would they? It's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. That is hilarious. I went from 24 on Rumble right down to 18. It's bouncing all over the place. Hell, I don't know how many there is. Let's see. When they took One Nation Under God out of school and went downhill. I honestly believe that the Pledge of Allegiance should be in schools. And honestly, the reason for that has nothing to do with America or the Constitution or God or whatever you want to think it is about. It's really about turning the day of learning on. It is the very first task that every single student should be required to do every single morning, so that they can get their brain out of, wow, that was a great bus ride to school. Hung out with my friend Joey. Hey, let's get this. That's it. Oh my God, let's talk about that. Let's do in the hallway. Let's see what's in our locker. Let's act like fools. It's the very first task that actually locks their brain into a learning mode. So let's see here. All right, where are we at here? I think our chat is good enough. Is good enough. Rumble people, I apologize that your chat, excuse me, is not on the screen. And the reason is because Rumble has absolutely refused to do what they call what's known as chat integration. If somebody were to comment on Twitter right now, you know what? I bet I can do it right now. I'm getting a little sidetracked, but don't worry, we're going to get there, guys. We're going to get there. I want to see if Twitter or not. I need to call it X. I need to start calling it X. All right, I'm going to comment. Shit. How do I do? That's not the right button. Woo. Did this work? Post it right there. And I don't know if you can actually get a comment off of Twitter into the chat. If you're on Twitter and you're watching right now, it says 0 viewers. But if you're on Twitter and you're watching right now, do me a favor, put something inside a tweet, a chat, an X, a post, whatever it is, and we'll see what pops in. So I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen with that. All right, we've got this back over here. It's all fired up. Democrat preppers stock up on unicorns, rainbows, and Nerf guns. That's not going to work out well for them. And did you know that Democrat preppers are actually more likely to get firearms training than non-Democrat preppers? Let's see here. All right, so we're going to break away from this real quick, guys, and we're edging up on our time limit. Because I've got a computer that's coming in and it's out for delivery, and I've got somebody downstairs. I got grandma downstairs. She is watching the shop, but that's right. I live above the shop, guys. I give some TMI to you guys. Too much, way too much TMI. All right. So I actually found I'm going to push that button right there. Make sure that's coming through. That's good. Look at that. Look at that. So guys, this is the actual study. I actually went out and found it. I apologize. My nose will not stop running. Oh, I will put this in the chat so you guys can look at it. Let me go and put it over here on the Rumble side first, because that window is open. And then we're going to put it over here on the YouTube side, and that window is open. So you guys can look at that later. And for those people that are watching right now, I will, this chat won't be available to you. So I will actually put it inside of the description so you guys can go find it. But basically, what do we got here? 74 million. And this is one of those little studies that nobody knows about. This one is from April, okay? And it's actually been fact checked by Finder. Finder is actually pretty insightful, guys, if you guys didn't know this. So it talks about prepping being a big business. It's $11 billion in it, 12 months emergency, all this stuff. Who cares? Who cares? If you guys didn't know this, I make 32 cents every time you spend $1 million. That's how much money. Last month, I made $26 on my Amazon sales. Okay, so the number one things, what are preppers buying and how much are they spending? Food and water. The average spends $146. That is the number one prep in the United States. Food and water. And you know damn well it's not the water, it's the food. I think they just did that because they don't have any way of tracking water. But you know it's just the food. And $146, do me a favor. Tell me if in the last 3 months you spent less than $146 on your preps. Just type yes or no in the chat. Toilet paper is the number 2 thing that preppers are spending. Oh, that's funny. So that tells me that this survey, this poll they took, I mean, I want to wipe my butt as much as the next guy in the apocalypse, but that is not what people are spending most of their money on. Medical supplies, definitely, guys. I'm also going to be, you guys asked about I think I talked about this early on in the stream. You guys asked me about the medical kit that I keep inside my get home bag. And I wanted to break it down for you. People are curious about it. I am not an advocate of spending lots and lots and lots on medical supplies because most of them are overpriced and you can buy them. And the thing is you always need more than one kit. So you can buy like I don't know, trauma shears, 3 to a pack for like, you know, $26. Now you can make 3 kits, do the planning, that kind of thing. But medical supplies, that's legitimate, 14%. Survival kits, that's a joke, guys. I've only ever bought and sold one survival kit ever. It is a good kit. There's one in the back of the girlfriend's car, and there is one, I believe it was Catitude, who won it in one of the drawings, which I really need to. You know what? It's Christmas time. I need to do another drawing. If you think that I need to do a Christmas drawing, you know, a giveaway, it's a flat out giveaway, type 111 in the chat. I'm very curious. All right, what we got here? Stash of cash. All right, 9% have been doing that. And it's interesting. They've got a dollar of value associated with that. $468. The average American, the average prepper has $468 stashed away someplace. Home renovations. This one is an interesting one because I don't believe it. Now, home renovations refers to people renovating or make changes to their home that have a preparedness mindset. We're not talking about putting up shelves. We're talking about renovating, changing your home for a prepper lifestyle. I think that one's a little far out there. Self-defense, e.g. classes and weaponry. The average prepper has spent $150 on this. That sounds like one course. 500 people nationwide went, and 60% of them were Democrats. All right, insurance. Well, I don't know what they mean by that, but I'm going to guess that they spent insurance $368. It doesn't say how long they spent it for, but investments into savings accounts, saving money. This was the biggest number, guys. Preppers are actually saving money, which is smart. It's just flat out smart. Means of evacuation, e.g. car, boat, etc. Only 5% spending $129. I don't know, evacuation, $129. Maybe that's your bug out bag. I'm not sure. Survival courses, $247. No, that's not the right one. $50. See, this is bullshit. I know that this is bullshit. Should I just write my own survey? Because I read this survey. I read the actual words, the actual backgrounds, the analysis, the actual words, and they all made sense. And I'm looking at this chart and I'm like, where to get these? I mean, there's no survival course that's only $50. If you want any form of survival course, you're going to pay like $124, $175. You're going to have to travel up to frickin' upstate Ohio and go to the woods with some dude who lives out there. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going to happen. So I don't know where they're getting these numbers from. I'm not buying this. Precious metals, $247. The average prepper only does $247. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that. What do we got here? What's it at? 24 now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 24 times 5. That's $100 and something. What was it, $125, $130, something like that? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. It's definitely not gold numbers. And then obviously other. Okay, so the reason men are more likely to be preppers. More than 2/3 of men, 35%, say they spent money preparing for emergencies or win SHTF in the last 12 months, compared to less than a quarter, 23% women. So here's what I think about that, guys. I think there's some fact behind that statement, okay? But I also think that people completely forget the fact that women are stealth preppers. Guys, when I started this channel, I wanted to say it easily over 50% of the people who followed me were women. I can look at the analytics and show you that they're women. And the analytics have changed. The analytics have changed to where I'm almost primarily male Let me find something. Let's look at the YouTube studio. There's a way to do this. Analytics. If I can find it, then I'm going to show it to you. If not, I'm just going to keep talking out of my ass. Where are we at? Unique subscribers. Videos. Yeah, my numbers have really changed. So age and gender over the last 20 days. That's over the last 28 days. Let's go lifetime. Let's see all those numbers change. Where are we at here? So lifetime, 22.8% of all of my videos were watched by females, 77% were males, and 0.1 were unspecified. So I'm not buying that. What are my live streams, 41% of my live streams are watched by females on YouTube. Shorts, it's only 24%, but 41% watch the live streams. So I'm not buying this because I think that there's more female stealth preppers out there than anything else. And then if we look at here, what supplies are men and women buying? So food and water, I'd say that's comparable. Skills, men have a tendency to gravitate towards skills more than women, but women preppers gravitate towards skills. So this is flawed. Medical supplies, I would say they're about the same. There's no real huge toilet paper. Men love toilet paper 2% more than women, which is ridiculous because women keep the toilet paper business in business. We're a stash of cash. Men are just, these numbers are just all predominantly male. Now, what's interesting down here is, and we're probably going to close on this because these stats get pretty deep. All right. And I like some of them, but some of them I just disagree with. Gen Z. Oh my God. Gen Z most likely to be preparing for a disaster. So generations, are you preparing for an emergency? Baby boomers, 82%, yes. Gen X, 80%, yes. Gen Y. The Gen Y is the scary generation, guys. If you didn't know that, Gen Y is the one where all the purple hair freaky people, they're out there. 61% are yes. I'm sorry, or no. Okay. So the numbers are going up as the generations get younger. That's pretty interesting, guys. That's pretty interesting. I don't believe that Gen X number is correct. I just don't believe it. I don't want to believe it. Okay, so we're going to pop back over here. We're going to check the chat real quick. Oh, Spags just showed up. I know Spags is happy. I'll be looking for my stickers in your video, Spags. You should be like right on something. Let's see here. What do we got? Can you make payments on a freeze dryer? Do they take payments? Ooh, maybe how to survive Black Friday at Wally World course. Hicktown Honey says, I'll keep prepping in mind when renovation is done, but it won't be specifically done for prepping. Isn't life a free survival course? Yes, it is. Especially when you can find a good instructor. Where are we at here? Hicktown Honey, I offer 50% off survival course, give you 3 tools, and drop you in the Ohio woods. Yes, perfect. Let's see here. I almost have the money. I hate paying. No, you guys are talking about something else. Oh, let's see here. Where we got Spags. I can attest that women drive prepping. They just aren't generally loud ones in the room. I've put on 12 expos and 4 campouts and networked across the Midwest, and women definitely drive things. Exactly. Where are we at here? They will be there. I'll be looking for them. If YouTube decides to tell me you made a freaking video, or better yet, if you make a video that's not a short, hint, hint. Let's see here. I would like to think there are a lot of Gen X preppers. There's no way there's not. There's really no way there's not, because Gen Xers grew up on garden hoses and backyards. There's just no way. Let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so you guys are talking about some other stuff, which is fine. Let me roll over to the Rumble chat and make sure I'm not. They want you weak and sick. What's Jared? Mamer? Jera Mamer. And hey, good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. All right, let's see here. Okay, so we are moving up on the end of the live stream. I want to thank you guys all for hanging out with me for an hour and listening to me jabber on about preparedness and the craziness of the world and things like that. If you'd like to support the channel, do me a favor. You can hit that like and subscribe button because it does help. But if you'd like to become a Patreon, ooh, that's where the real money is. Guys, link down below. Go find it. Anybody who's a Patreon will tell you right up front it's the best money they ever spent. It's the best $3 they ever frickin' spent. Not a joke. If you decide to join for free, Patreon doesn't tell me that you join for free, so you'll actually get like zero service. But thanks for clicking the button. And as usual, Christmas is coming. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. Hold on, check this. You guys are gonna love this. So I know there's a lot of you out there that don't like Bofang's. Okay, but listen, the damn things work. They work. It's that easy. They work. You put. They work. Okay. So I'm always keeping my eye. I found this kit. This kit has the extended antenna. That has this antenna. It has the earpiece. It has the lanyard, and it has the USB charger that you can push on the side here with the long battery. Okay. Oh my God. I found this kit for $33 frickin' dollars. It's 52% off. It's normally a $70 kit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to post that inside the chat so you know that I am not full of crap and that I can make 32 cents when you buy this thing. M&M Amazon affiliate. Okay. I think that's going to be about it, guys. Until tomorrow. And as usual, stay safe. Have a great day. And I'll see you when I see you. Have a great time, guys. Bye-bye. I'm going to push some buttons. Got to go. PrepStock 2024 tickets. Find the link below. Not a joke. The ticket site is up 100%. Later.